Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Command gunship from the Clone Wars line released in 2003. Now this vehicle is one of my favorites from the Star Wars universe, and the toy itself is one of my favorites from all of the Star Wars line. So I am a little biased, but I'll make sure to tell you some of the problems that I have with it, and there are a couple, and we'll go over them. But anyway, before we get too far into the review, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. And like always with these larger scale vehicles and figures, just bear with me while I get everything in frame. So here's the box here. As you can see, nice image of the gunship here on the front. And then on the side, more images of the gunship. Then on top, another image of the gunship. Then on the back here, it's got a picture of the toy itself, and then it goes over all of the features. I'll go over all of those in the review, so we won't linger on that for too long. Down here in the corner, it's got all of the other vehicles that were released alongside this one, as well as a brief description. And if you'd like to read that, you can go ahead and just pause the video. So anyway, pretty standard packaging for one of these Star Wars toys, so let's go ahead and get back to the vehicle itself here. Now, this gunship here is pretty large for the Star Wars line. From the front gun to the rear gun, it's 24 inches long, or about there. And then it's got a 24-inch wingspan, and it is 8.5 inches tall, about, which makes it pretty large, and it is absolutely packed with features. We'll start up here at the front. It's got an opening cockpit. And you can actually fit two pilots in here. There's no seats or anything, they just stand vertically in there. Then on the front, it has two firing missiles. You just push this little button here, and then the missile fires off. And then you just click it back in there. One thing to look for when you're buying these new, these are always gone, almost always. So make sure that if you want one that's complete, that these are on there. Now, moving back, if it's hard to get in frame here, you can see right here, there are these two little pegs, and those are on both sides, and that is for clicking the ball turrets into the side here. The ball turrets are not included with this particular version. They have been in other versions, but there are two versions of the ball turrets. As well. I don't have any of those to clip in there, or I would show you how they work, and that's just because they're really expensive, and there's one version that is comically undersized that I'm not really a big fan of. Then here in the base, there are a ton of pegs for figures to peg into, and that is actually removable. So there's a little trigger I'll show in a second here, so you can pull that and it drops out the bottom. For quick landing figures. And then, of course, that just plugs back in. This is so hard to film because this vehicle is very large and very heavy. But anyways, it just clips back in there, and right here is the little release switch. Then there's this little clear plastic piece that just makes sure that it doesn't tip back when it's on your shelf, because this thing is crazy back heavy. So up next, the doors fold in and they clip in, and they do it very seamlessly. They're kind of hard to do on camera, as you can see, but they do clip in very nicely. It can be a little difficult sometimes, but they do clip in. And when they're like this, underneath the wings, there are these little panels that can be opened for storage or whatever. Those are under both wings. Then, while we're talking about the wings here, there are missiles that clip in under here, and this little ball turret. And wait, there's still more. Up on the top is the button that does my favorite feature, and that is this one right here. You push that, and the doors swing open slowly. They did such a nice job with that. It looks fantastic in my opinion. The only thing I don't like is that it has this little thing up here. I think they could have done something different to kind of hide that little trigger. Now that the wing or the doors are open again, if you can see through here, there are two missiles that clip in on the door on either side. And I imagine that those are gone fairly frequently as well because they're really hard to clip onto the door itself. So make sure that when you're buying these on the used market, that those are there and the ones under the wings are there. Again, if you're you know, really into your vehicles being complete. There is still more. This is crazy. So up at top here, there are firing missiles, and they're fairly well detailed. These ones are red, translucent red, and they just clip in up here. Then in the cargo compartment down here, there's a little clip that you can place a speeder bike. The one from, I think it's around Attack of the Clones, will fit in here and clip on. I would show you that, but I don't have one of those to actually clip in there. I've already talked about the ball turrets, but it's the same ball turret through the wing that kind of turns on this kind of clicky mechanism. Then up here on the top, there is a handle, you know, for little kids to run this around the house. Then on the back here, there is a little gun here. It's on a ball peg. You can move around, and a set of cables. Well, it's actually string with these two little clips on them. This is my least favorite feature from the vehicle, just because there's no real way to store them. Now there is a way on there, but it doesn't work very well. They are fairly well detailed when you get them up close, but I wish they had just omitted this. Honestly, there are enough features on this thing. It doesn't really need it, and in my opinion, just sort of takes away from it. But if you did want them on there, you can wrap the string around this little hook here, which is incredibly hard to do because they're so long. And you can also attach the hooks like this, and they stay on there. However, like I said, it's really hard to wrap the string around this little hook because of how long they are and how tiny that little hook is. And it's also buried underneath all this stuff, so you can't easily wrap any of it in there. So what I usually do is end up just bringing them up the back and wrapping them around the handle to get them out of the way so that they're not dangling. A lot of people cut them as well. I don't want to do that because I want to kind of keep this, you know, as it is new. One other thing that I don't like about this gunship and a lot of the other ones that have been released is that they have you add stickers. I hate stickers. Frankly, everything that's on the vehicle should just be painted on there, in my opinion. And this one does have a lot of painted detail on there. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of battle damage all over, as well as these really fine details like these ones here. Bring them closer to the camera so you can actually see them, you know, of vehicles that they've taken out or whatever. And then the paint looks very worn, and there's some panel detailing where some of the panels are a different color. You know, so overall it looks nice even without the stickers. I never put stickers on any of the models or the vehicles that I buy from the Star Wars line. So overall, I absolutely recommend this vehicle 100%. You know, whether it's this one or any other version. I own two different ones at this point, and I love them both. My favorite vehicle. But there's one thing that we do need to talk about, and that is the price of these on the secondary market. They have absolutely skyrocketed. You know, and for something that was originally, I think these were originally released for somewhere between 30 to 50 bucks, for them to now be reaching prices of $150 to $400 is completely ridiculous. I picked this one up for, I think, around 150 USD, which is on the lower end of what you can find them for in the box with all of their stuff. But that's still way too much. You know, try your best not to pay those ridiculous prices. I found this one and I knew that, you know, they're only going to go up in price. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to pay, you know, the price because I think the price is ridiculous, but I also do want to add it to my collection and I know that they're only going to get more and more expensive. So just keep that in mind when you're buying these, that you're kind of feeding a scalper collector market when you pay those ridiculous prices to get these, and I'm a part of that. I paid it, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.